Welcome to your energy update with the angels. I'm Devon Duerr, angel, intuitive, and spiritual teacher. You are very welcome here. The overall energy right now has a lot of things going on at once. Do you have too many irons in the fire? Well, the angels have guidance for you here about how to handle that because things are moving at a really fast pace. So before we dive deeper into this guidance, I'm going to ask you if you feel called to write this pocket affirmation in the comments below this video to activate this guidance, because these are custom pocket affirmations that I write based on the guidance from the angels. And the angels are talking about all these things going on at once right now. At the time you're hearing these messages, what comes to mind for you? So write this pocket affirmation below. I take action for my highest interest. I take action for my highest interest. Write that in the comments below to affirm that, well, yes, there's a lot going on at once. And yeah, there might be things moving at a fast pace. And there's all these things going on that you're being asked to do this and take action on that. This is where we're going to be asked to slow down and look to see what's in my highest interest to take action on. It could mean that you need to clear some things off your social calendar so you have room to work on those passion projects. It could be you need to put down a project that just isn't really going anywhere. Maybe you're kind of bored with it. You've lost inspiration with it, and go do something fun. Get out there and do something social. Get out there and play. So that's why I wanted to ask you to affirm that right now, because I kept seeing this image of too many irons in the fire. You've just got all these things that you're doing, and it's just creating this heated energy that can be agitating. And it might be time to make that decision, that important decision to let something go, or just take the iron out, let it cool off, put it on the back burner, and focus on the irons in the fire that you really care about, the things that you are ready. Now, the angels do see that you are feeling a little challenged, that you are ready to do these things. So there are things that maybe have been put on the back burner that you're not quite ready to take out into the world. And the angels are saying they want you to have confidence that you are ready if your heart is leaping forward at the idea of doing it. So that's what I'm hearing is I'm hearing that a lot of you watching this video right now have something that you just feel you're not ready for. And the angels are saying you've got to change that mindset. So maybe you're saying, I'm not ready to get back into a romantic relationship. I'm still healing my heart and I want these things to happen first. Well, they want to remind you that you've got to get out there and do something to even meet people and even open up to that. It could also be the same thing with a project. Maybe you're getting too caught up in perfectionist energy, and the angels are wanting you to know that what you really want to do is get the project out there and see what works and be willing to make adjustments, change things, because you're never going to feel ready unless you take that first step. So we're going to go deeper into this guidance about what they're talking about to help clarify this for you. But first, they want you to know that there's something going on behind the scenes that you need to move away from. So maybe there is a relationship in your life that you need to move away from or set healthier boundaries. Maybe it's time to move away from an old spiritual practice that doesn't work for you anymore. You know, like for example, if you were raised in a very traditional religious home and you're realizing, my heart isn't there anymore. I want to find a new way of connecting with God, a new way of taking my spiritual practice to a new level. So you'll know what that is for you, but there is something that you need to release. The angels are talking about being willing to release something, move on from something. They're also talking about, for some of us, we're holding on to something that's no longer serving us, like the idea that we might get back with an ex, or the idea that we were wronged by that person, by that boss, by that family member. So is there something you can just let go of, let it be water under the bridge? They're asking me that for some of you, it'd be really helpful to call in Archangel Azrael. Azrael will help you with gentle transformation, releasing these things that are no longer serving you. They're also saying for some of you, it is an old thought, way of thinking about yourself. You're still caught up in some type of energy that's bringing up pain points for you. And the angels are saying if you would just release it, let it go, you won't continue to feel that pain, and that will stop blocking you. So is there some mindset where you felt victimized, where you felt undermined, where you felt taken advantage of? Is there something that you could reframe that and let it go and say, you know what, here's what I learned from that, and here's how I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen again. Now, recently they see the way you've had a lot of conflict with someone. Maybe it's a colleague, maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a family member. You've been having to deal with just bothersome details. People are calling you up, wanting your attention. And they are seeing the way you've had to deal with competing goals too. So it could be the situation where maybe, it's not even necessary conflict, but you really want that quiet time alone to work on your spiritual practice or to work on a project, and you've got a child or a spouse demanding your attention and really wanting your attention. Sometimes for us spiritual light workers here, which by the way, you are here because you are a light worker. You don't have to call yourself that, but you do have divine gifts. There's a reason you're watching this video. And so even if you're not actively using them out in the world, you are here for a reason. And so a lot of times we light workers will not want to work on the bothersome details because we're caught up in the ethereal. We're really getting these downloads. We're really connected on a higher level. And you know what? We do need to get those bills paid. We do need to get that bookkeeping up to date and those bank statements reconciled, right? Because those important details are setting us up for success in the future. So we don't want to ignore the bothersome details that could cause us to trip later on down the road. And foundation is really important. However, they are saying at the time you're hearing these messages, it's important to slow down and take a rest, take a vacation. Can you build some time in your day for a little power nap or just a little break to go do something away from stressful energy? And if you don't know how you can do that, they want you to spend some extra time in meditation or journaling, asking your angels for guidance. How can I bring more peace to my schedule? How can I make the decision that is best for me? This is one of those times where they'll remind us maybe sleep on it if you're not sure what the best decision is for you and you're being, again, like they said recently, you've been in conflict with competing goals. And you're saying, okay, I don't know how to handle this. My boss is asking me to take on this project, but I already feel like I have too much on my plate. You can ask for more time. You can go into meditation to get those answers. So right now, as you're hearing these messages, that's what they're asking you to do. Take some quiet time alone. And sometimes it's as simple as just going for a walk outside for a few minutes and just having no electronics on you and just asking for loud and clear signs. How can I bring more peace and calm to this situation? How can I let things go that are not serving me? And that'll really help you because, as I asked you at the beginning of this message to use that affirmation, I take action for my highest interest. This would be one of those moments too where you're really empowering yourself with that pocket affirmation. Now, coming up very soon though, you are going to get some exciting news. You are going to see opportunities to make big changes in your life to really advance your goals. So you have to be in that place of stillness to be prepared for that. You do need to be willing to make the decisions necessary to clear away things on your plate that are not serving you. Take those irons out of the fire that are not working, because when these new opportunities come in, these new exciting adventures are arriving for you, you want to be able to take advantage of them. I mean, for some of us, this could be that you're just simply not making time in your life for that romantic relationship, or you already are in a romantic relationship and you really need to take it to a new level by clearing some things off your calendar so you can have more one-on-one time together. Schedule those date days once a week or once a month with your spouse now or your loved one. This could be a date day with your kid or your parent where you're just holding space for that. Because one of the things they want you to know is you are going to get so much power out of finding positive resolutions to any conflicts with your intimate relationships. So what intimate relationship comes to mind for you right now when you hear there needs to be forgiveness and there needs to be positive resolution? When you find that, you will have so much more empowerment with the work you're doing, with the goals you have. Again, this doesn't have to be actual work. This just could be a goal you have to take a vacation or to slow down with your work. So have those heart-to-heart conversations, because they did talk about needing to forgive something, needing to let something go. So I have another pocket affirmation for you. I'd like to invite you to write in the comments below this video. I easily find positive resolutions. It's simple and easy. I easily find positive resolutions. So a lot of times the easy answer is the correct answer. Sometimes we overcomplicate things. We feel like, I don't know how my partner, my boss, my loved one is going to respond to this, but I've got to get it out there. So sometimes we just have to, get it out there and have those heart-to-heart conversations in a compassionate way to find that resolution. So remember, I easily find positive resolutions can really help you with getting clarity there, getting outside and taking that walk, or doing that automatic writing in your journal. I encourage the writing and the journaling because then it gives you that gift of hindsight where you can come back and track all the ways you're being guided and the ways that you listen to your intuition. We all use our intuitive abilities differently. So when you write down your question and you write down the answers you get, you will often see the way you're getting your information more often than the other. For example, when I was really actively working on using my intuition intentionally. Like I was born with a very open channel, but I didn't feel like I could control the way I received guidance. It would come in through dreams. It would come in through a feeling. It would come in through communication with an animal. And I didn't do it intentionally. When I started doing it intentionally, I noticed that most of my intuitive guidance first came through with a feeling. Okay, I would get a feeling first. Then I would have to explore that feeling, and then I would get more guidance. I would hear something, I would see a sign, and I had to write all these things down to connect the dots. So for you, it could be something where you just have a knowing. You just know something's off. Something is not right. You don't know why. You don't really have a feeling in your gut. You don't really have a tingling in your shoulders. You just know. Maybe you keep getting a symbol that you see over and over. You're not sure what the symbol is, but you're very visual and you're like, there's something there. So I'm going to encourage you to write those things down. I don't talk about it that often, but I do have my digital intuition tracker on my website, as well as my custom journal, Book of Evidence, Proof Your Angels Are With You, where I teach you how to track your intuition. These are ways you can begin developing that muscle. But whatever it is for you, just grab that journal and have it all in one place. That's the key thing, is you want to be able to go back, because I love saying hindsight is one of the most powerful tools for deepening your trust and your connection with your angels, and deepening your trust and your intuitive abilities. Because again, like I said, you are here because you have natural born spiritual gifts. We all use them very differently. And the key is to first identify your most open channel. I will also have people say to me, but I wish I remembered my dreams, or I wish I could see things. I wish I had more third eye vision, clairvoyance, right? When you work on the abilities you already have, that opens those other channels. It actually begins to clear out more opportunities. Plus, your spiritual team is like, oh, they're getting it. Yay. He or she's getting it. They're getting our messages. So they start sending you messages in new ways to help you connect the dots there too. So that important gift of hindsight is good, because it's really easy for our mind to talk us out of something we saw, felt, heard, and it's also easy for us to forget. And so when you're tracking it all in one place, I know it sounds like a broken record here, but even if it's on your phone, like you have this one note on your phone where you're writing it down, write down the date, write down everything you got. If you haven't already, sign up for my free newsletter at devonduerr.com, where you can get my ebook. My gift to you when you sign up is It a Sign? How to discover, how to interpret signs and their meanings. I give you 5 questions to ask, like, oh my gosh, I keep seeing this red cardinal every time I think about my grandma. And every time after that, I get a call from my boss about something. You're connecting the dots. And so I give you these 5 questions. You can ask for these signs. You can write them in your journal, and it just makes it real easy for you to begin tracking your intuition, which is so key here. So I wanted to give you that little extra encouragement there to trust in your abilities as we go deeper into this guidance. Because one of the things they want you to know too is that there are people around you that are willing to help you with enjoying life's little luxuries, to help you with getting that quiet time alone. They're willing to help you with, maybe you want to go out on your own. There are people around willing to help you with that. Maybe a mentor, maybe a friend or a loved one who's willing to watch the kids so you have that quiet time alone, or they're willing to take something off your plate for you, help you out with running an errand so that you have that time alone. So allow that. And remember, spending quiet time alone can actually be quite the luxury. I know that a lot of people out there feel, well, I feel lonely, so why would I want to spend quiet time alone? Well, a lot of times the loneliness comes from not being comfortable with yourself, with your own energy. And this is where we want to really focus on working on our self-love and empowering ourselves. And this can come through self-discovery and really getting deep on what does your heart want? What are the things you see for yourself in the future? So ask for that help if you need to. Let somebody be a sounding board for you on how you can deepen that connection with your higher self, with your inner heart and what your heart wishes. And then, of course, enjoying those life little luxuries like going on a romantic stroll with that loved one or spending time with your favorite animal. So you'll know what that is for you, but you are being asked to look around and see who could help you with that. Another thing that the angels want us to bring up for you is to trust that you're on the right path with your long-term plans and continue to make optimistic long-term plans. If you realize you have to take some irons out of the fire, stop things, end something, whatever, that's okay. Just remain optimistic and make long-term plans. That's really going to help you to shine. And one of the things they want me to remind you too as well is a lot of times you'll hear coaches talk about fear of failure and how they're really, if you can always flip the script, it's never a failure, it's a lesson, right? All those things. Well, another thing that happens with light workers is we're so used to hiding our light in a closet. We hide our abilities, we hide away from the world, that we actually end up having a fear of success. We realize as we begin to share our gifts with the world that, oh, this is something that is really needed. And I can really shine my light and help others. And my heart really wants to shine my light and help others. But then here comes this fear of success. So is that resonating with you too? You know, what if my side spiritual business really takes off? And then I don't have time for my family, or I don't have time at work and my work suffers with my colleagues. Well, this is where we're going to ask for guidance, okay? We don't want to get caught in that mindset of fear of success because there is a resolution. That's why they asked us to remember that earlier pocket affirmation, I easily find positive resolutions. But I do have one more pocket affirmation for you here before we enter into our final messages from the angels for this video. So if you feel called to, write in the comments below this video, I am highly creative. I am highly creative. And I'll tell you why they want us to write that. Again, remember, these pocket affirmations are meant to be very simple. Sometimes a simple thing is the easiest thing. They're short and easy to remember. You can put it on a piece of paper in your pocket, take it with you, put it in your purse, put it wherever you need to around the house so you can recall it. I am highly creative. And here's why. Here's the final messages from the angels. You are so much more powerful than you realize. So much more powerful. And you do have the ability to deal with any challenges in a kind and understanding way, in a compassionate way. You may have to make time for those around you, those loved ones who really need your help and love and support, but you can set healthy boundaries with that. You can find those positive resolutions. You are powerful when you step into your power and say, I'm going to set my boundaries around my time. I'm going to set my boundaries around my creative projects. I'm going to set my boundary around my energy. I'm going to take care of myself and make sure I'm getting sleep, I'm eating good, healthy foods, and that I am making time for my loved ones. Because a lot of times what we have to do is feel balanced in our relationships in order to feel creative. So if you are really looking forward to working on a creative project, but your heart hurts when you think about how you haven't had enough time with a family member or a spouse or a loved one, can you schedule time for both and find that positive resolution and have that heart-to-heart conversation with that loved one? Because that's going to be super powerful for you when you are seeing, oh my goodness, I have all these things going on and now I've got to deal with these bothersome details and now I'm having conflict and I need to just get over things. Call in Archangel Azrael, call in your spiritual team, your higher self. That resolution will be there for you. And remember, take time every day to connect with the angels.